You know, I really do feel like Zelda 2 is one of the more overhated games in this series. I don't think there's a single bad Zelda game, but if you ask most people nowadays which is the worst Zelda game, they'll probably tell you Zelda 2: The Adventures of Link, and I think that's kind of bunk. I do agree that this is the black sheep of the series. It's definitely got some oddities and weird eccentricities here and there. But I like this game a lot. It reminds me of the Wonder Boy games. It's a 2D side-scroller, action-adventure joint. It's hard as hell, but it's very fun.
After Ganon was destroyed, Impa told Link a sleeping spell was cast on Princess Zelda. She will wake only with the power of
Number 3.
Triforce sealed in a palace in Hyrule. To break the seal, crystals must be placed in statues in 6 well-guarded palaces. Link set out on his most adventuresome quest yet.
Believe it or not, adventuresome is an actual word. There's my previous save file from the last time that we streamed this. I think it was like August of last year. So yeah, here we go. I don't know about you guys, but if you name Link anything other than Link, you're going to hell. It's not like Pokemon where you can put yourself in the place of the trainer. Like, no, that's Link. That's not you, that's Link. Hey Azura, welcome to the stream. Number 3 Triforce. Can I get a number 9 large? Number 3 Triforce. Extra dip. So you got lives in this game, you got leveling up, you've got spells. This is a weird game. I get why people are a bit divisive on it. Back then, it seemed to have gotten some pretty good reviews contemporaneously. It's just nowadays, people think Zelda 2 is stinky, and I don't agree with that. I think this is a great game with a bunch of oddities and weird quirks that you wouldn't see in future Zelda games, but we'll get into that. So it's a 2D side-scroller, and the overworld, it's like Zelda 1 or Dragon Quest, where you're going around. And the first thing I like to do in this game is go down to this cave in the south here. Also, we got these slime enemies. They kind of remind me of the Choo-Choos from later Zelda games, but apparently they're not. I think they're called Zols or something. But look at that EXP, leveling up in a Zelda game. So I would say this is the only Zelda game that could be classified as an RPG. To me, the one thing that denotes an RPG is leveling up and experience points, and Zelda 2 has it. The other Zelda games are action-adventure games. This game's an action RPG. And it's the only one in the Zelda series. And we can't see shit in this dank, dark cave, but that's okay, because we're gonna get a candle after we beat Parappa Palace. But yeah, there's magic here. We need to get all of the magic vials and all of the heart containers in order to beat the game. We're not gonna one-take Jake the stream, or we're not gonna one-take Jake the game in the stream. This will probably be a 2-parter. I'm gonna try to do the first 3 or 4 palaces. Palace level, whatever you want to call it. Yo, we got a pee bag, a bag of pee. Now, the leveling up system in this game is weird. There's 3 tiers of leveling up, but you can choose not to level anything up, and your EXP carries over to the next level. It's kind of confusing, but I actually really like the leveling up system in this game. I'm gonna save up to get the attack power level up. That's the first thing you want to bump up whenever you level up early on in the game, in my opinion. There are a couple of things I would change to this game to maybe make it a bit more player-friendly. This game is hard. It's probably the hardest Zelda game, but it's not so ball-busting that it becomes unfun, in my opinion. But the first thing we want to do, we want to peep out some of these towns here. Check this out. This is, I think, the town of Mido. Town of Rudo. So, there was a fan theory that I read eons ago that Zelda 2 was a sequel to Ocarina of Time. This was way before Hyrule Historia was a thing. And people speculated that Zelda 2 was a sequel to Ocarina of Time because the towns in this game are named after the sages in Ocarina. Now that's pretty silly. You know, they were just referencing Zelda 2 when they made Ocarina, but it's neat. I like that theory. I love these towns. I love exploring them. I love the vibes. Goraya of Tantari stole our trophy. Yeah, the hints are cryptic. Not Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest cryptic, but they're still pretty cryptic. And then you got Leisure Suit Larry over here.
Find magic in a cave south of the castle.
That's actually a pretty good tip. So one of the things that I would change about Zelda 2 is the only way to get healed in this game is to rest in a town by talking to one of these ladies, or to cast a healing spell. Enemies don't drop hearts, and I think that makes this game way harder than it needs to be. Use keys in palaces. They are found in... Thank you, ma'am. There's no rupees, no money, no enemies dropping hearts or anything. You have to live off the land, and the only way to heal Link in this game is to rest in a town or cast the healing spell. That's one of the few things I would have changed. I would have made it to where enemies drop health. I think that would have made the game a bit more manageable. I don't think this is the town where I get the shield spell. I think that's the town south of Parappa Palace. But yeah, you talk to one of the NPCs, and you go inside, and you get health. I do think that this game is as hard as people have made it out to be. This is definitely a challenging video game. But thankfully, it's far less cryptic than you would think it is. There's only a couple of moments in this game that are sincerely obtuse and, you know, NES era bullshittery, but those moments are few and far between. Compared to Zelda 1, which kind of just sets you out in the world, and it's like, okay, you gotta figure everything out on your own.
Return the crystal to the palace in Parappa. The Rapper.
This is definitely the town where I get the shield spell. I want that before I do the first palace. Only the hammer can destroy a roadblock. See, some of the hints that the NPCs give you are actually helpful. It's not all cryptic, you know, nonsense, jabberwocky, gobbledygook. Alright, so this is where we get the shield spell. Each town has a spell or an ability that you get. This was the game that was the conception of the down thrust and the up thrust, which once you get those two moves, the game becomes significantly more doable. Also, Link can jump in this game. It wouldn't be until like Breath of the Wild where you could manually jump. So we got the shield spell. That's gonna come in handy for the dungeons. There's a really good ROM hack for Zelda 2 called Zelda 2 Redux, which I think is the definitive way to play this game. There is also a PC fan port by a guy named Hoverbat called Zelda 2 like Expanded Edition. That version is good as well, but it takes a lot of liberties on the original game, which I don't necessarily enjoy. I think a lot of the new custom stuff they added is neat, but there's just too much like new original stuff in Zelda 2 Expanded Edition, whatever you want to call it, for me to recommend it as the definitive version, because it's not the original game. It's an incredible port, and there's some great quality of life improvements, but if you're gonna play Zelda 2, either play the original NES version with a guide, or play Zelda 2 Redux, which is a phenomenal ROM hack. Okay, before we do Parappa Palace up there, I want to get the heart container that's chilling down here. Gotta do a little bit of platforming. think Zelda 1 and 2 are both phenomenal games that any Zelda fan should play. But I'm not an old head in the fact that, like, you'll hear some old heads saying that you gotta play Zelda without a guide. I respectfully disagree heavily. Garai is chucking boomerangs at me. I really disagree with that. I think if you're gonna play Zelda 1 and 2, you should definitely play it with a guide. Maybe not holding your hands throughout the whole game, but that's how I first played Zelda 1 and beat it. I had a map of Hyrule by my side, and I really got immersed in the game. And I still, to this day, Zelda 1 is my second favorite Zelda game behind Ocarina of Time. But if I didn't have a map, I would have been miserable trying to play Zelda 1 totally blind and figure out everything on my own. This game is more linear. It's more straightforward than Zelda 1, but it's way more challenging. But I really enjoy the vibes and the atmosphere of this game. It's got a very Western, advanced Dungeons and Dragons feel to it. Same thing with Zelda 1. Banger alert, by the way. I don't know who did the soundtrack to this game. It wasn't Koji Kondo, but the soundtrack is phenomenal. And it's totally different on Famicom Disk System. Same thing with games like Zelda 1 and Castlevania 3. They sound totally different on the Famicom. Different audio channels. These dudes with the daggers, they're dickheads. They sap away your EXP, which I think is complete chicanery. I would not be opposed to Nintendo either remaking this game or taking another stab at a 2D action platformer Zelda game, because I really enjoy Zelda 2 a lot. We're playing the original NES version, and like I said, we're not going to beat the whole game in one sitting, because it takes me like 8 hours to beat this game, but I'm going to try to do the first half. This is the song that comes to mind when I think of this game. Yeah, this song is a classic, and the Smash Bros. Melee remix is nothing short of iconic. It's so good. I don't know who did the score for this game. It was not Koji Kondo. This does not sound like his style. My biggest criticism of this game is that you have lives, right? You start off with 3 lives, which is fine. That was par for the course with games of this era. And when you die, you lose all of your EXP, which is also fine. I think there should be a punishment for getting a game over. You have 3 lives, you lose all 3 lives, you get a game over, and that's it, right? That's fine. But my problem is that when you get a game over, you start all the way back at the beginning palace, and you have to backtrack to where you were when you died, which I think is totally ridiculous. The one exception is the Great Palace at the end of the game. If you get a game over in there, the game is gracious enough to spawn you back at the beginning of the Great Palace. I think they should have done that for every level in this game. Every palace should have been like that. That's my biggest complaint with Zelda 2, is that whenever you get a game over, you're sent all the way back to the palace at the very beginning. Oh, enemies don't drop health in this game, but they do drop magic, which you can, cast the heal spell on yourself. But so I think it would have been maybe beneficial for most players if enemies occasionally dropped like a little bit of HP. Sometimes you get fairies in palaces, which is nice. But yeah, the main way you're going to be healing in this game is with the heal spell and healing in towns. Occasionally you'll get a fairy. The game will have mercy on your soul, but yeah, this game is tough. I like the emphasis on platforming, though. There's not too many games that are like an action-adventure platformer RPG. The only other games on NES that give you the same experience that Zelda 2 does are Faxanadu, which is a phenomenal game, and Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest, which is an overhated game. I think that game does a lot of cool stuff at the time of its release. I do think it's cryptic as hell, and it's, that's another game you gotta play with a guide. A Nintendo Power game, if you will. But, God, these guys are like the Hammer Brothers of Zelda. Castlevania 2 is also overhated. But of the 3 games I just listed, Zelda 2 is the best, in my opinion. I think this is hands down one of the best games on NES. It's a magic vial, but I got full magic. Like, this is a top 10 NES game for me. I recommend it if you're playing it for the first time that you do play it with a guide by your side with some tips and tricks. But phenomenal game. Hey, MMB, welcome to the stream. I just microwaved a White Castle slider. That's what's up. I've never been to a White Castle in my life. I'm familiar with their sliders, but I think the nearest White Castle to me is Kentucky. And I'll be damned if I'm driving out to Kentucky to go to White Castle. Oh, we got the iron knuckles. You can cheese these by jumping and stabbing them. Still a bit tricky. It's still a bit tricky. I gotta get my groove going. And cast the shield spell. He's still probably gonna kill my ass. Ooh, 200 EXP. Let's go. Do I want to upgrade my magic or do I want to upgrade my life? I think I want to upgrade my life. I'm going to hold out. There we go. All right. We're close to leveling up again. Yeah, the leveling up system is a bit unintuitive, but once you understand how it works, it's a lot of fun to customize your build in this game. But yeah, how are you guys doing? Welcome to the stream. We're gonna play this, like, I'm gonna try to play through the first half of this game, and then maybe we'll just hang out with more Orcs Must Die, because I'm kind of addicted. These enemies take like 50 hits, by the way, but they give you 50 EXP, so it's maybe worth it, depending on how much you value your time. This game is too early Final Fantasy-ish for me, but I do want to try it at some point. It's certainly tough. I would say, actually, Final Fantasy is probably... The first one is probably harder than this game, because of how buggy that game is, but... If you play this game with a walkthrough, and you, like, master the combat, and you learn the intricacies of how this game works, it's phenomenal. It's a very unique Zelda game. I think it's overhated, underappreciated, but I do agree with most people that it's the black sheep of the Zelda series. It's a very strange game. No rupees, no items. I mean, you get the key items like the hammer, but you can't use them. Like, you can't equip them. This is the only Zelda game where Link has spells, to my understanding. Unless you consider, like, Din's Fire in Ocarina of Time a spell. God, these guys. I don't even know if it's worth it to fight them. They're just gonna get me killed. I'm gonna cast the shield spell and get the hell out of here. But much like with Ocarina and Majora, the early NES Zelda games have such a cool vibe to them. It's very Western high fantasy, advanced Dungeons and Dragons feeling to me. Zelda is so unique in that it's not quite Disney, it's not quite Studio Ghibli, it's not fairy tale, like European, the Brothers Grimm fairy tale. It's its own thing. It's like an amalgam of a bunch of different fantasy series. But the early Zelda games have a certain atmosphere to them that later Zelda games don't have. Ocarina and Majora are the only games that come close to feeling like how these old games feel aesthetically. Here we go, that's how you do it. So here's the candle. Now caves will be lit up. Darkness imprisoning me, no more. Each palace has a key item. And when you beat a palace or a level, whatever you want to call it, it collapses to the ground. But if you don't get the key item, it doesn't. So you don't have to worry about soft locking yourself. But you want to rack up the level ups early on as much as you can, because this game gets very challenging by the time you hit level 3. Kind of like the original Zelda game. The first two palaces they're not that bad. Then you get to level 3 and the game takes the training wheels off. I thankfully haven't died yet, which That's pretty incredible. And we can still use that fairy up there. But I would certainly love to see Nintendo take another stab at this game. Whether it be an entirely original 2D Zelda action-adventure platformer RPG, or just a remake of this game. That would be great. The enemies are so cool. The Iron Knuckle enemies, the Stalfos enemies, the Zols, the Moblins. Like, Zelda 1 and Zelda 2 have a very, very distinct feel to them atmospherically. And I think a big part of that is the soundtrack, but also the sprite work, the color palette, how, like, medieval these games feel with all of the blocks everywhere. Hey, Retro, welcome to the stream. The Zelda 2 glazing is unreal. Well, you know what? This is a damn good game. Zelda 2 is the Rodney Dangerfield of the Zelda series. It gets no respect. Is it perfect? No, I have my problems with this game. I've got plenty of quarrels and qualms with Zelda 2. But I still get, like, video essays and reviews recommended to me on YouTube, like, talking about how bad Zelda 2 is. And I'm just like, are you crazy? Like, I definitely see why people don't like this game or think it's too hard, but bad? And people talking about how it's the black sheep, which I do agree with. Like, nowadays, it's definitely the black sheep, but this was the second game in the series. There was no Zelda formula at the time, so who is to say that future Zelda games didn't take the Wonder Boy direction and go, like, full 2D action adventure game, you know? This is Matsuda, also known as Horsehead. In addition to the enemy design being really cool, the bosses are also very cool. Like, look at this Dungeons and Dragons ass motherfucker. So I first played this game growing up with I first played this on the Zelda, like, Anniversary Collection on GameCube, which had Zelda 1, 2, Ocarina, and Majora, and a demo for Wind Waker. And I hated Zelda 1 as a kid. I didn't like Zelda 1 until I was a teenager, like graduating high school, and I beat it. Zelda 2, I actually liked this game a fair bit. I think I made it to level 3 before, like, 8-year-old me gave up. Which is kind of incredible that I made it that far as a kid, because I sucked at video games. Whenever you finish a palace as well, you get a free level up, so you can coordinate your level ups around that as well. Okay. I'm gonna hold out for another attack up. We need 100 more EXP. Yeah, there we go. Since we got the key item in the palace, it collapses, crumbles to dust. I think they wouldn't, because they know IGN and GameSpot would be like, 2D Zelda, bad. Who's to say? I mean, that's entirely possible. I feel like Zelda 2 still catches strays to this day, so it's very possible that if they remade Zelda 2, it would be dead on arrival. I would like to see them attempt it, though. A couple days ago, I streamed Wonder Boy 3: The Dragon's Trap for Sega Master System, which is a game that I think is very similar in a lot of ways to Zelda 2. But it's way less challenging. It's way less ball busting. So if you want a Zelda 2 type game that isn't as brutal, definitely check that game out. I love Wonder Boy alongside Zelda. I love these games equally, but I think I like Zelda 2 a bit more, maybe, because of the challenge. And there's a lot more going on in this game, mechanically, than Wonder Boy. Wonder Boy is much more streamlined. But both games are great. I think I like the mechanics of Zelda 2 a bit more. It feels a bit more fleshed out, but again, I can't recommend both games enough. Actually, the reason I played Wonder Boy: The Dragon's Trap was when I was younger, was because I was like, Zelda 2 is too hard. And The Dragon's Trap looked like a demonstrably easier game, which it was. But Both good games. Can't recommend them enough. Got another Garaya. These guys are supreme dickheads. And there we go. There's the statue that they were talking about in the last town. I have my problems with this game. This is not a perfect game by any stretch of the imagination. I think in some ways it has aged remarkably well. Like, the controls feel amazing. Link feels great. The combat in this game is great. It's simple, but it works very well. I do think it's maybe a bit unfair towards the end, especially towards the end. I think enemies should drop health instead of you relying on casting the healing spell. I think the game should not send you all the way back to the beginning whenever you get a game over. I don't mind the fact that you lose all of your EXP when you get a game over, though. Because there should be some punishment for dying and running out of lives, but I think losing all of your EXP and sending you back to the beginning of the game, that's kind of ridiculous. Hey, Ko, good to see you. Welcome to the stream. I really like the title for this stream. I mean, it's true, though. It's true, though. Zelda 2 is the Rodney Dangerfield of the Zelda series. It get no respect at all. All right, since we got the trophy, now we can get the spell in here, which I think is the jump spell. Pretty sure.
With this, you can jump very high.
Hell yeah. Link is now Dennis Rodman. He's about to get drafted to the NBA. Like, something about this game is just so cozy to me. I know people hate the word cozy and like all the indie game slop that's like cozy farming simulator, but like the design of the houses, the towns, the music, the overworld, very 80s high fantasy. I love it. I love this game. I can look past all of its faults because I've beaten this game like 20 times. I don't know if there's anything else for me to do in this town. I don't think there is. We got the candle, got the jump spell. I think we can, yeah, we can go do like Death Mountain or do level 2. They throw Death Mountain at you very early on in this game, which is pretty brutal. But I have a pro gamer strat for Death Mountain, which you guys will see here in a hot minute. There we go. Level 3 across the board. You love to see it. You want to level up as much as you can as early on as you can because this game gets insane. Here we go. Kind of impertinent to this stream in particular, but I was thinking about streaming a Monster Hunter game because it's been so long since I've played a Monster Hunter game. I don't know which one to play though. I could play Rise, I could play World, even though I didn't really like World, to be honest. I kind of wish Capcom would do an Ultimate collection where it's 3 Ultimate, 4 Ultimate, and Generations Ultimate and port it to Steam with online net play. That would be so cool. I would love to replay Generations Ultimate. I must have sunk like 700 hours into that game. I think I got into Monster Hunter with Freedom Unite on the PSP, so I'm kind of an OG, but I'm not like one of those Monster Hunter fans that says lunacy shit like, oh, Monster Hunter 1 on the PS2, that was the peak of the series and it went downhill. Like, I'm not that much of a Monster Hunter OG. And I do love the quality of life improvements of World and Rise. I think that's great. Oh, fairy, please. I wanted the fairy. No, I think the quality of life improvements in Rise and Monster Hunter World is great. But I do feel like they've made the combat maybe a bit too zippy in Monster Hunter. I don't know. Like, gathering materials and bugs and like mining way quicker and easier, that stuff is great. I love those quality of life improvements. I love that stuff, but I don't know. I just feel like they've made the combat and the mechanics way too zippy in Monster Hunter. Maybe that's just a me thing. Okay, so in this forest area, there's a guy named Bagu, who is the brother of Error. So it's like Error, Bug, get it? I gotta find him, because he will give us something important. A key item. I don't remember where he is, though. I thought he was around this area, like right up here. Yeah, here he is. So this is Bagu.
Bagu is my name. Show my note to Riverman.
And even though it doesn't appear in our inventory, that's a key item. So we're gonna need that. Hell no, Link's in the bayou. Down in the Louisiana bayou. I don't know what these jumpy enemies are supposed to be. Maybe they're like a jackalope. But these fellows are pretty great. Now, what to do? What to do? I could go to level 2. I paused the game. I didn't mean to pause the game. Level 2, I get stuck in very easily. For some reason, no matter how many times I replay Zelda 2, when I make it to level 2 or Palace 2, whatever, the layout of that area, like, perplexes my brain. So maybe we'll go ahead and do that. Get that taken care of. Or I could go get the healing spell. Maybe I want to do that first. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. If enemies attack you on the yellow road, by the way, you're totally safe. So there's another Zelda 2 pro tip from me to you. Yo, they got sheeps in this game? Hell nah. Piranha plant, cheap. Skeletal cretin. But yeah, would you guys be interested in a Monster Hunter series of streams? They would be very grindy, but I don't know if I want to play Generations Ultimate or Rise Sunbreak. Watertown of Saria. I liked Rise way more than World. To me, Monster Hunter World didn't feel like Monster Hunter in a lot of ways. And I think the reason Rise got so much flack rather, when it came out was like people that got into the series with World, they looked at Rise and they were like, this doesn't look anything like Monster Hunter World. But also when the game first came out, it was like literally incomplete. It was 1/3 of the way complete. But then Sunbreak came out and Monster Hunter Rise is apparently pretty damn good. I put like 400 hours into Rise when it first came out, and I did just about everything, and I was like, whoa, this game is not complete. Okay, so that takes us over to Death Mountain. I don't want to do that yet, though. I want to get the healing spell. I don't know if I can get it yet. Please let me help you. Comment. Okay, well, we can get healing, too. There we go. What about you, Granny?
Hello, young fellow.
He's a bat! Grandma was... There's bats all up in this town! Minions of Ganon. If you do one of the pre-world games, are you just gonna go through the game solo or do the hub quest? Well, doing the hub quest would be challenging because it's the monster, like, difficulty stacks for you to do it multiplayer, so doing it single player would be really hard. I would love to do, like, G rank and stuff, but I don't know if I could do that by myself. Which is why I want Capcom to release, like, a Monster Hunter Ultimate collection on Steam with some quality of life improvements here and there. That would be great. have sworn this was the town where we get the healing spell. Maybe I'm wrong. I lost my mirror. Oh yeah, this is one of the few instances of Zelda 2 being like really cryptic for no reason. I found a mirror under the table. Is that Link saying that? Confirmed? Link can speak? Link can speak and he doesn't just go hya 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 toria. Yeah, that's really like goofy sort of NES cryptic bullshit. There's a couple moments like that in Zelda 2, where it's like, oh, the mirror is just underneath this table inexplicably. Grandpa Wizard over here is gonna give us the healing spell, which costs a ton of magic early on. 60 magic, jeez Louise. But that's a good spell because it's one of 2 or 3 ways to heal Link in this game. I feel pretty confident in beating level 2 now. So let's go ahead and do that. This dude really does look like Leisure Suit Larry. What are you staring at, bro? I don't remember if there's an extra life or an EXP bag in that patch of grass over there. I'll come back for it later. Gotta wade through the dang swamp. I'm ankles deep in swamp water. This part of the game should have had alligators in it. Like little gator enemies that Link had to fight. That would have been great. This is also a pretty cool sound effect. Really good sound effect. Alright, level 2. Now, can I heal? Yes, I can. Alright, so this is another kind of like trick that you can do. When you get the red vials, it maxes out your magic. And at the beginning of most palaces, if you strike this iron knuckle statue, they'll drop a red jar. So that's a good way to get a quick heal. I don't know what it is about level 2. Every time I replay this game, I get like stuck in this palace. I get stumped. I don't know why, but something about the layout of this place just perplexes my brain. Hey Taldell, welcome to the stream. Okay, we're close to another level up. Oh god. The boar heads. It's like the Medusas from Castlevania. Flying at me in a sine wave, and I go, nope, I don't like that. I don't know what it is about sine wave patterns, but my brain can't cope. Alright, we need a key. I don't have a key. I don't know what it is about the second dungeon that turns my brain into a pretzel. It twists it up. Okay. I want to get a level up before I die. That is primary objective number 1. Not even beat the palace, it's get a level up so I don't lose all of my EXP. Probably wasn't worth it to heal there, but oh well. Alright, if I kill this thing, we'll be 2 EXP away from another level up. Stab him, Link, stab him! I love his battle stance in this game. Like, Link is ready to rumble, he's ready to throw down. The sprite work across the board is really good. There we go. Now if we kill one more Zol, we'll get a level up. I think that's the name of the slime monsters. They're not choo-choos. The choo-choos in later Zelda games are a different enemy from these fellas. Come on down. Homeboy knows. He knows that. Yeah, that's all the EXP I need. Okay. I kind of want to go for attack power, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it through this palace in one piece. Actually, I should go for magic. Because I get a free level up at the end of the palace, so if I do this right, if I coordinate this right, I'll get my attack power level up. This song is so damn good. The Smash Bros. Melee Temple stage is like the most iconic Smash Bros. Stage in my opinion. And the remix of this song, the arrangement in Melee is so good. I wish the Choo-Choos and the Zols could coexist, but Nintendo doesn't care for them. Yeah, it feels like the Zols have been supplanted by the Choo-Choos. And I mean, they're pretty much the same. Like they're slime monsters, but these guys are cute. I do like the Wind Waker Choo-Choos a lot. I always wanted to drink them because you make potions out of them in Wind Waker. All right, come on over here. Yeah, jump into the lava. Oh no! Oh, I thought. I thought I was about to fall into the lava there. Cast the jump spell just for safety, because my ass cannot platform to save my life. It was really cool seeing these Zols in Ultimate Trial. Like seeing the older Zelda enemies like Pole's Voice and Zols. Wind Waker Choo-Choos are like gummy candy. These guys are like bubble gum. I can maybe see that. I feel like these guys would be also gummy candy-esque. Come on. Attack me. Attack me. Little bastard. He's waiting for me. He's camping. There we go. Yeah, I really don't think Nintendo would ever remake this game, but I would love to see that. Imagine Lizard Cube, the guys that did the Wonder Boy the Dragon's Trap remake, doing this game. Unlike Wonder Boy the Dragon's Trap, though, which was mostly just a visual overhaul, I think this game would need some quality of life improvements. Alright, there we go. Got my health back. There's a couple of tricks you can do to make the game a little less nightmarish, you know? I don't think this is the hardest game on the NES, but it's definitely up there. It's not Silver Surfer levels of craziness, but... I can get both of these guys at once. Yeah, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. That's what you like to see. This will be 100 EXP. I just gotta keep them in the rhythm. It's almost comical how much health those guys have, but they give you 50 EXP, so I'd say it's worth it. We need 2 more. Here we go. Okay, so if I upgrade magic, and then I level up life, I can probably get attack. I don't know if I'm coordinating this right. In my head, this makes sense, but maybe not. Whatever, I'll just upgrade magic, so I can refill it. There's a way to farm sneak in a similar way at the beginning of Skyrim. I wish I liked Western RPGs more, but they overwhelm me. Any open world, like Western RPG or sandbox game, they intimidate me. I remember playing maybe like 10 hours of Skyrim when it came out in 2011, which is nothing in the grand scheme of things. But I was just like, I feel I get so overwhelmed with open world games. Going back to Monster Hunter, that's what I like about it so much, is that it's very direct. It's no bullshit. It's you pick a monster, you fight them, you grind, you get new gear, level up, rinse and repeat. And that's why I'm not too interested in Monster Hunter Wilds, because it's going for more of an open world sort of thing, and I don't know. That's not what I want out of Monster Hunter. I know that in the AAA video game space, everything has to be open world sandbox slop, and games that are linear or have a more focused design are like no nowadays. But that's what I always appreciated about Monster Hunter, was how concise and clear-cut it was. It was very much, you pick a monster, you fight them, you go. These dudes look like Kid Icarus enemies. I love the NES, and I defend it till I'm blue in the face. I will not defend Kid Icarus, though. I want to like Kid Icarus. But that game, alongside the first Metroid, in my opinion, have aged like milk. You will not catch me out here defending Kid Icarus. I wish I liked it. It really is an amalgam of so many games. It's Mario, it's Zelda, it's Metroid, all blended together, but just... I don't enjoy it. It is a very frustrating game, in my opinion. Hey, Fernie, welcome to the stream. Lady Palutena frowns. I know. I liked Kid Icarus Uprising. I can't play it anymore because it destroys my wrists, but I like that game. But Kid Icarus on NES, it's got a good soundtrack. I like the sprite work and the enemy design. I like the Greek mythology setting, but actually playing it, maybe I'll stream it in an attempt to beat it one of these days. Okay, I need a key, and I need to get the power glove. So bad. Didn't the actor who played Lucas in The Wizard get arrested for domestic abuse charges? That's crazy. He loved the power glove too much. It drove him mad. Alright, get over here, buddy. Come on. Come on. I'm just gonna poke you a little bit. There we go. Ah! I jumped. I promise I jumped. Also, photosensitivity warning. whenever you die, the game flashes like crazy because it was the 80s. And they were just like, yeah, we're just gonna flash the shit out of your eyeballs. Durr. I promise you I jumped there. See, this is why you gotta cast the jump spell. Here we go. Okay, I gotta find a key. See, the other palaces in this game I don't get, like, stuck on. Except for the Great Palace at the very end. But for some reason, this second level just perplexes me. The layout of it. But yeah, I think I might stream Monster Hunter Rise soon. I've been thinking about replaying a Monster Hunter game, and that's probably the best one for me. I really didn't like World that much. It didn't feel like Monster Hunter to me. I don't know, the structure of it was too different. The game design. I appreciate the quality of life improvements, but I didn't dig it. What I played of Rise, I liked a lot more, and that's saying something considering I played it when it was an incomplete game when it first came out. This song is so fucking good. It's really good. This game's soundtrack bumps. I love the Great Palace theme, the very last dungeon in the game. I wish PC and Switch were compatible because I'd like to play, but I only have it on Switch. Oh, cross-platform? They're not? Really? I thought they were. Well, I'm gonna manifest a like a Monster Hunter collection, like a Generations collection, and I'm gonna will that into existence. And when that comes out, we'll play that together, Co. I'm gonna will it into existence. It was really cool when I got Rise on Steam. I double dipped because, like, I never played the Switch. But on Switch, it runs at 30 FPS. A steady 30 FPS. You know, a respectable 30 FPS. But on PC, it's unlocked. And it's just so much smoother. Okay, we got a key. Is there anything else over here? Ow. Wilds is going to be cross-platform though, so it's nice they took the feedback from fans and finally implemented it. I'm torn on Wilds. 1, I can't run it because of my potato PC. 2, again, I don't like the more open world design. I don't want that in Monster Hunter. I really don't. I know that everything has to be open world slop nowadays, but I don't like that. I'm sure it's going to be good, but I feel like it's going to be like Monster Hunter World, where I personally am not gonna find much enjoyment in it. Like, yeah, it's gonna be good. But I don't know. I don't care for open world games. Between PS5, Xbox, and PC, I was about to ask, is it not coming to Switch? And then I was like, of course it's not coming to Switch. You need a gaming PC with like 420 terashits per gigafart of video RAM. So you can get your ray-traced Lagiacris. Ray-traced Congalala. Ray-traced Dire Morales. It does look beautiful. But yeah, I'm not going to be able to run that game. I need to get more storage for my PC as well. I need to get one of those PCIe SSDs that are super fast and you just pop them into your motherboard. Like a stick of RAM. And they got like 2 terabytes of memory on them. Those memory sticks, like PCIe solid state drives, whatever they're called, those hoes are fast. I gotta get me one of those. because I'm running out of space on my computer. I have like 300 gigs. It's a good thing I'm an old man boomer and I only play like old video games. But I think Monster Hunter Wilds is going to be like, what, 170 gigabytes or something? I wonder why games are so huge nowadays. Obviously, they're bigger. There's the power glove, by the way. Now we can stab boulders. But like, where is all that memory? Like, what is it, textures? Is it just the big-ass textures we use in video games nowadays that make them so big? I mean, obviously, games like GTA 5 that are these massive sandbox games, they're gonna be big, but like... I wonder if it's just the audio files and the textures that make games so huge nowadays. They uploaded a new minimum spec sheet recently, and it seems they managed to optimize it a bit more because some of the specs were reduced and the minimum storage went from 130 gigs to 75. That's cool. I still don't have the graphics card to run it, and I don't even know if I'll like the game if it is truly like open world, just because that's not my bag. But Capcom has two teams working on Monster Hunter. They have the big boy team and then the portable team. The big boy team did Monster Hunter World, and then the portable team did Rise. And now the big boy team is doing Wilds. I wonder what the portable team's gonna cook up, because I'm more interested in that. Like, I'm not some insane boomer that's like, oh, Monster Hunter Freedom Unite on the PSP was the best one. Oh, Monster Hunter DOS on PS2. Like, I'm not saying that, but I do think the newer games have gotten they've strayed off the beaten path a little bit. The quality of life improvements are great, but the actual gameplay feels a bit too zippy. This is twisted. Oh, God. How many lives do I have left? I have one. My ass is gonna die. If I can get a fairy, that would be serendipitous. Serendipitous Kid Icarus. I feel like this is gonna take me towards the boss. But I also think I need another key. Oh, that's tempting. I'm gonna go back before I go through there, because I think I might have missed something in the previous room. I gotta take the elevator. I don't know why I have Monster Hunter on the brain, but I've been thinking about those games a lot the past week, and I really want to replay them. Oh! What's your guys' favorite Monster Hunter monster? Mine are the Yamasukami, because he looks like a Pikmin boss, and the Nibble Snarf, because his name is Nibble Snarf. Nibble Snarf sounds like some shit out of Geetus and the Land of Ta. No potion for me. Mojo Jojo and Bubbles. Haha, can you imagine? I'm telling you, this year I'm gonna will into existence 2 games. Rare Replay Steam port, and like a Monster Hunter collection with all the old games. You mark my words. I'm gonna will them into existence. I'm not even gonna go for that EXP bag. We're about to die. Paolamu? Isn't that the dragon from like Monster Hunter Worlds that inflates into a balloon? Inflation! Hey Churro, welcome to the stream. Zoldor. That sounds like a parody of Zelda that would have been in like a kid's cartoon from the 90s. You know what I was saying earlier that Zelda has a very unique fantasy vibe to it that no other series have. It's not Lord of the Rings, it's not Fairy Tale, it's not Disney, it's not Japanese anime. It's an amalgam of all of them, right? Blah, 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 me yapping, right? There's one film that feels like Zelda, and that is Willow with Warwick Davis. I don't know if you guys have ever seen Willow. Phenomenal fantasy film. But that is the only thing that I've seen that I'm like, yeah, this reminds me of Zelda. Oh, this dude is gangster as hell and he's gonna whoop my ass. I love how you just destroy his helmet and there's another helmet underneath it. It's like that one filler episode of Naruto where they're trying to figure out what's underneath Kakashi's mask. Beneath this mask is another mask. You know what? I can get another level up real quick. And then we can get another level up for putting the crystal in the thing. That jar looks like an automaton. You know, it kind of does. I never saw that before, but I definitely see it now. Oh, what do you guys think? Is it worth it? If I go for this and I die, I'm gonna lose all my EXP. If this P bag gives me enough EXP to level up and then I die, that'll be fine. Let's go. Now, I have to backtrack all the way back to the palace, but that's okay. I got the P bag, I got the level up. We're bulling. And now, and when we go back there and we put the thing in the crystal. Yo, get me out of this whack-ass crystal prison. When we do that, we'll get another level up. So basically, I just went from going from, like, getting one level up to getting two. Even though I have to backtrack. Yeah, the leveling up system in this game is interesting. There's some quirks to it. But once you figure out how it works, it's really cool. You know what's ironic about... I was talking about Wonder Boy the Dragon's Trap earlier. That game feels more Zelda-like than this game does, because that game has items like a boomerang and a bow and arrow and stuff, whereas this game has leveling up and spells. So in a way, Wonder Boy the Dragon's Trap is more Zelda than Zelda 2, but I do think I like this game maybe a little bit more. It's a very close tie. These red bats remind me of Red Armor from Ghosts and Goblins. I wonder if they were inspired by the Red Armor. Because Ghosts and Goblins predates this game by a couple of years. Kind of crazy, Ghosts and Goblins predates Super Mario Brothers. Like, that's how old that game is. Not the NES version, but the original arcade Ghosts and Goblins is older than Super Mario Bros. 1. But yeah, those guys kind of remind me of Firebrand a little bit. Okay. So we gotta go back through the palace again. But all the doors are unlocked. I don't even think we have to fight the boss again. I don't think the boss respawns. And I'll get another level up. That was definitely worth it. That was a very quick lick. Getting that level up. But yeah, thank you guys for coming out to the stream tonight. I hope you're all having a good weekend. I know the old man boomer games that I play aren't the most popular with everybody, but I appreciate that y'all tune in. Hey Corey, welcome to the stream. Yeah, this is Zelda 2: The Adventure of Lank. He's closely related to Lanky Kong. They're very close family. Get me out of the bayou! Where's Bayou Billy when you need him? There might be a fairy in one of these. One of these patches of, I don't know, sand, dirt. Little alligator to Louisiana Bayou. No, okay. Well, we can just make a beeline to the end of it now. Go ahead and heal up. Distant relative of Lonk from Pennsylvania. Separated at birth. Where's Castlevania 3 with no save states? Maybe I could beat the Famicom version of Castlevania 3 without save states, but the North American NES version of Castlevania 3 is goddamn evil. I can beat Castlevania 1, no sweat. I can beat that game with a blindfold on. That's hyperbolic, but I've beaten Castlevania 1 many times. I've beaten Castlevania 2 twice. Super Castlevania 4, Bloodlines, Akumajo, Dracula X on the Super Turbo CD, TurboGrafx CD. Castlevania 3 is an evil fucking video game. Was 3 the one where Dracula kicked your ass? That's pretty much every Castlevania game, but yeah, especially 3. Castlevania 3 is an evil, evil video game. It's a good game. Like, Castlevania 3 is a great game, but it is so hard. It is so goddamn hard. Castlevania 3 is amazing. It has a great soundtrack. I like the characters. You got Grant Dynasty, who just like, that's such a gangster name. Grant Dynasty. You got Alucard, you got Sypha. But the thing that makes Castlevania 3 so hard is the enemy spawning. Imagine Castlevania, right, with the stiff controls. But imagine, like, it had Ninja Gaiden enemy spawning. That's what Castlevania 3 is. I like the stiff controls in Castlevania 1, because the game is designed around it. But when they localized Castlevania 3 in North America, they were like, what if we just make this game fucking impossible? The Famicom version does not have the crazy-ass enemy spawning that the NES version does, so maybe I'll attempt the Famicom version. It's not Hammer Brother. Yeah, this is Hammer Brother's cousin, twice removed. Those enemies aren't nearly as bad as the Hammer Brothers, though, because they're way less quick. I don't know, I feel like their hammer arcs are a bit taller as well, so you can get under them easier. I like most Castlevania games, even Castlevania 64. I think that game is a bit overhated, maybe? Legacy of Darkness is legitimately a good game. The sequel to Castlevania 64. The original game is, yeah, it's not great, but I don't think it's terrible. Legacy of Darkness is slept on, though. That game is really good. But my favorite Castlevania games are the first game, Rondo of Blood, and Lament of Innocence on PS2, which is also underrated in my opinion. Lament of Innocence was gangster. That game was so good. I think you went here already. Yeah, Palace 2 I get lost in and I end up wandering around in circles. The other palaces, I know the layout of them pretty well, but something about this second level, like, it just perplexes me. Link is way less agile than Mario, though. He doesn't need to be agile to take care of those Hammer Brother type dudes. Surprising to hear. Okay. This is not me being a contrarian, I promise you. Symphony of the Night is a great game. It is a good game. But the thing about Symphony of the Night is that the sequel Metroidvania games on GBA and DS are better than Symphony of the Night. I think it's a great game. I've beaten it twice. I love the goofy-ass, like, jazz fusion Jamiroquai soundtrack. I love the atmosphere. I think Symphony of the Night is a good game, but it's super unbalanced and it's really easy to get lost in. That could just be skill issue on my part. But I think Symphony of the Night is a fantastic game, but I would not put it in my top 5, no. It's a great game, but go into it with tempered expectations. It's super unbalanced and kind of clunky. There are certain weapons and spells that are just OP. I think the Chrysogram, there's one sword in it that's just super good. You may as well use that for the whole game whenever you get it. I like balanced and clunky. I mean, I'm playing Zelda 2. This game is very broken in a lot of ways, but people go on about Symphony of the Night as if it's a 10 out of 10 flawless, perfect masterpiece video game. And it's good, it's damn good, but go into it with tempered expectations. I would say the same thing about people playing Ocarina of Time for the first time in like 2025. You're already leveling up again? Yeah, because you want to level up early, because you get far less opportunities to level up later on in the game. That's why I took that game over to get that level up just a moment ago. The scaling, the level scaling in this game is, like, by the time we hit Palace 3, like level 3, the next level, these level ups are gonna slow down demonstrably. Automod out for blood again tonight. There's a lot of technical limitations here, but it fucks me up that Link's sword is the exact same color as his body. Yeah, it's a very fleshy colored sword. I do really like Link's stance, his posture in this game. It kind of reminds me of the Avatar from ActRaiser. Like, he just looks like he's ready to battle. Look at that. Look at that pose. He's ready to rumble. Same thing in ActRaiser 1, the way that the Avatar, like, holds his sword. But yeah, it's a very fleshy color for his sword. I love the official artwork of Link in this game, because Zelda 1 Link looks so badass. He's so anime. Okay, hold up. Wait, let me find this. Okay. Talk about a glow down. You guys ready for this? This is Zelda 1 Link. Look at how anime he is. I love it. This is one of my favorite illustrations in all of Zelda. He's got all of the equipment on him. He's got the swoopy anime bangs. So cool. This is Zelda 2 Link. Bro looks like a Keebler elf. What a downgrade. I always thought that was funny. There's some official Nintendo Power art from this era by Kazuya Terada. And I would love an entire Zelda game that looks like that. I'll pull up some of the Kazuya Terada art after we finish this palace, but it looks so cool. It was used in like Nintendo Power and strategy guides from the time. It reminds me of Berserk, but I'll pull that up here in a bit. I'm coming to reclaim the cookies. Keebler elf looking ass. I don't need to fight these guys. I'm gonna get a level up anyway. It's weird. I feel like Palaces 3 and 4 are definitely easier than this one. I wonder if the designs for these levels were like swapped around at some point during development. Because going from this one to 3 and then to 4, the next two levels are way easier than this one, in my opinion. Have you played the first Final Fantasy? Yes, and I enjoy it, but I like Dragon Quest 1 more. Final Fantasy 1 is good, but the magic charges ruined the original version of the game for me. Because I grew up with the GBA remake, Dawn of Souls, and instead of having magic charges, you have MP. So red, white, and black mages are all way better in that version of the game, whereas in the NES version with the magic charges, they're not nearly as good. But I think Dragon Quest 1 works for me because it's simple, and it's short, and it's straightforward, even though it is archaic and ancient. Final Fantasy 1 is kind of in this in-between between, like, being old and antiquated, but being way more impressive in terms of the scope and the narrative than Dragon Quest. I like Final Fantasy 1, but I don't replay it super often. Don't talk shit about the D&D rip-off casting system. Yeah, it's a lot of Final Fantasy 1 is lifted straight from Advanced Dungeons & Dragons. But if you're gonna play Final Fantasy 1, maybe play Dawn of Souls on GBA. The only problem with that version of the game is it's kind of a cakewalk. People don't talk a lot about the scope of Final Fantasy 1. It's very impressive for its time. But you gotta keep in mind, when FF1 came out, like, Dragon Quest was on Dragon Quest 3. So it's not as early as people think it is. Like, Final Fantasy 1 is, what, 1988? It's still an impressive game, and I do revisit it once every couple of years. But I prefer to play the Dawn of Souls version. Oh yeah, compared to Dragon Quest 1 and 2, the story of Final Fantasy 1 is like Shakespeare. Like, Dragon Quest 1 is go fight the dragon, save the princess. Dragon Quest 2 is, yo, go link up with your cousins and defeat this evil dude. Dragon Quest 3 is more or less the same, except there's a twist where Baramos isn't the actual bad guy, and it's some dude named Zoma. Final Fantasy 1 has time travel, it has, like, despair and emotional weight to it. Dragon Quest has always been less melodramatic and more silly, which I like both. You know, Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest coexist very well because they provide different RPG experiences, but I definitely, overall, I like Final Fantasy more than Dragon Quest, but the Dragon Quest games that I like a lot more than the Final Fantasy games I really like. I don't know if that made any sense at all. That could have just been complete gibberish, but now I want to play Dissidia. I wish we got like a Dissidia game that went full-on arena anime fighter. I know there was that one on PS4, but apparently that one wasn't very good. Where do I get the hammer? I get the hammer in Death Mountain, so I guess we should go do that now. When are we getting an Advent Children style movie of Final Fantasy 1? Let me get on to that with my, let me make an 8-bit theater fan comic. but it's all like melodramatic and emotional. Sorry, Grandma, I know you just gave me soup, but I need my magic to be refilled. I don't know why there's a purple Zol here. He's just schnoozing. Yeah, maybe I'll stream Final Fantasy 1. My last playthrough of it was like 3 years ago. I might play the original NES version, which I've only ever beaten once. I had it on Virtual Console as a kid, and I don't remember if I beat it, but I definitely got to the point where you change classes, and your little chibi characters become huge Beef McChunksteak Fist of the North Star characters.
You know Bagoo? Then I can help you cross.
Thanks, sir. And maybe I'll play Dragon Quest 1 in commemoration of the remasters of 1 and 2 coming out. Man, I'm kind of worried though that those games are going to be crazy expenny. For as short and as brisk as Dragon Quest 1 and 2 are, like, I couldn't imagine them selling that game for more than $30 max. If they could get away with the Dragon Quest 3 remake being full price, because that game's actually pretty long. But Dragon Quest 1 you can beat in a single, like, 7-hour sitting. So this is Death Mountain, and this is one of the many major difficulty spikes in Zelda 2. There's a strat for Death Mountain though, and that strat is just go right. I don't know why they were like, okay, we're gonna make it to where we're gonna hit them with this crazy difficulty spike, right? But you just gotta go right. Man, now I'm wanting a crazy ass Dissidia arena fighter for console and PC. It doesn't have to be balanced. It doesn't have to be like an actual proper fighting game. But it could be like one of the, you know, like the old Dissidia games, but they go all out with just making it a crazy, chaotic arena fighter. Yo, look at this dude. Why haven't they brought that guy back? I think I'm still going the right way. I don't remember if I have to take the elevator up. I like how I was like, oh, just go right. It's super easy, and now I'm questioning if I'm going the right way. I think I am. I just don't remember. No, we're going the right way. Yeah. Mad Max Goofy. Get these cheap cheeps off of me. Get those Japanese letters off of me. Yeah, we're going the right way. Whoa! He's coming in hot. Coming in hot. He's chucking axes at me. I can get that. Hold up. Yeah! Sweet. I'm not gonna heal yet, though. I want magic so I can keep casting shield. I'm just gonna ignore you. I'm gonna cut my losses here. I want to get through Death Mountain, get the hammer, and be on my way. But yeah, there's going back to like best way to play Zelda 2 if you're interested. The PC port by Hoverbat is really good. I'm not trying to disparage it. It just adds a lot of original content, which for the most part is good from what I did play of it. I admittedly didn't beat that version of the game, but there's half of the game is entirely original content, and I would put forward the argument that maybe there's too much. If you're gonna play Zelda 2, I recommend the Zelda 2 Redux ROM hack, which is pretty much the vanilla game, but with a bunch of quality of life improvements. But the PC port is good. I'll stream it one of these days. I'm just kind of a curmudgeon. It's a very impressive effort, and the way the dude released it was very smart. Like, he released it on itch.io, and there's no screenshots or anything, nothing to draw Nintendo's attention. It's not like other Nintendo fan projects where they're advertising the shit out of it. Like, we all know how protective Nintendo is of their IPs. So if you're gonna do a fan game or a port or whatever, keep a low profile. Okay, we're almost there. Little armadillo. Little fucking creature. Get off me, wow! Okay, I think I go right. We're finna find out. No, but yeah, we'll go ahead and take that magic. I kind of want to write a video on this, but there's a lot of similarities between Zelda 2 and Ocarina of Time. And I kind of want to, especially the beta of Ocarina, which had spells, like the medallions would give you spells, kind of like this game. And one of the spells in the Ocarina beta turns you into a fairy, like in this game. And I kind of have to wonder if Ocarina originally was going to be like a soft reboot / remake of this game. There's a ton of interesting similarities between it and and Zelda 2. Most of it didn't make it off the cutting room floor, but pretty cool stuff. Maybe I'll make a video on that at some point. Oh, God! Sir? Sir, you need to die now. There we go. Got the hammer. We can get the heart container around here, and then we'll get out of Dodge. I think we'll do this, and then level 3, and that'll be it for the Zelda 2 stream. I might do Orcs Must Die, though, just because I feel like playing something else, and that would be a good, mindless, like, brain rot game. That would be cool. Having items be more magic dependent and more applicable outside of dungeons would be cool. Yeah, Ocarina had a pretty strenuous development, and it was rushed, so I feel like if they had more time to work on the game, it would have been... You know, the medallions giving you spells and stuff probably would have made it into the final game. Yeah, I'm gonna die.
I'm in danger.
Thought I could duck under that. That feels like what Breath of the Wild did a bit better than its predecessors. Oh, it's magic, it's not a heart container. Yeah, Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom are both great games, and the annoying-ass Zelda cycle is in full swing now, where people are, like, glazing Twilight Princess and Skyward Sword, which, hey, those are both good games, but now they're like, oh, Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom suck. I say this as somebody who was pretty disappointed with Tears of the Kingdom, but I still enjoyed Breath of the Wild a lot. Those games needed to come out when they came out. Zelda needed a shakeup, and Breath of the Wild was just just what the series needed. I really hate the annoying ass Zelda cycle where, like, every 7 years the narrative shifts surrounding which games are good. It's like, hey, they're all pretty good. They're all pretty good. They all have their faults. And, you know, some of these games I like more than others. I didn't really care for Tears of the Kingdom that much. It just felt like Breath of the Wild, but more bloated. But it's not like these games magically go from good to bad. Zelda fans are really goddamn annoying about that. I think there might be a heart container down here. Thought there was. Maybe not. I don't have that much EXP. I could probably eat a game over. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Just gonna do that real quick. Fast travel. And yeah, that's Soda Popinski from Punch-Out! Same voice clip. Alright. Apparently, this Zelda that's in a coma is not the same Zelda that you rescued in the previous game. This is the same Link. Like, this game takes place only a couple years after Zelda 1. But apparently that Zelda is a completely different lady. Painful fast travel. Well, you know, sometimes compromises need to be made. Alright. Now, I think there's a heart container in here. I don't know what these Mr. Clean Scrubbing Bubble enemies are supposed to be. But they're funny little fellas. There is! Alright, sweet. This is en route to be my quickest playthrough of Zelda 2. So far, we're not even like a third of the way through the game, but usually it takes me way longer to get past the first 2 dungeons and get like the hammer. I think it's just EXP in this cave up here, right? Yeah, we came in here. We already got it. And then gotta find the potion for the sickly child in the next town, which is also around here. Yeah, I think it's up here. Down in the bayou again. The noise that Link's, like, walking makes, it kind of reminds me of the squeaky boots from that one episode of SpongeBob. I'm being Smeckledorfed right now. I can't wait till I get the down thrust. I think I can get it before I do level 3. Okay, there is the medicine. We need that to get either the spell in the next town or the down thrust. I don't remember. I don't like that enemies sap EXP away from you. Usually it isn't much, but that's just kind of annoying. It's just like a punch in the dick. Okay, now I think we've done just about everything in this area. I could be forgetting something. I'll come back for it if I am. We're gonna move on to the next town, do the next level, and then that'll be it. This will be a 2 or 3-parter. The Great Palace, the final dungeon, is gonna be an entire stream in and of itself. That's also an old D&D thing. Lots of undead enemies with level drain. Steal your actual XP. Yeah, I don't like it. Harbor town of Mido. Mido isn't a sage, but he is a little Kokiri shithead in Ocarina.
I am much too busy to talk to a stranger.
Yo, where can I buy some, where's the plug? Where's the town plug? Please let me help you. Okay, yeah, I need to be healed. No one is here, but a church bell will ring. Yeah, it's a strange sentence.
Ask Error of Rudo about the palace.
No, I'm good. I don't think I need to do that. Where is the sickly child? I have medicine for them. Are you the sickly child? The island palace. Oh, I accidentally skipped it. That's where we get the down thrust. This is a game changer.
When you jump, press downward to stab.
You get the down thrust and the up thrust. And these techniques, game changer. The down thrust is definitely more useful than the up thrust, but yeah, this shit wrecks enemies. I could have sworn the sickly child was in this town. Am I wrong? Am I Boo-Boo the Fool? I might be Boo-Boo the Fool. Even though a lot of the NPCs aren't very helpful, it is cool that they wander about. There we go. Water of life. Yeah, we gotta give it to this person. And this is the fairy spell, I think. Oh no, it's the fireball? Oh, it is fairy. Okay, cool. Fairy is helpful because you can fly through locked doors. If you don't have a key, you can turn into a fairy and fly through the keyhole, which is really cool. I don't know if that's a bug or if it's just like a reference to Peter Pan. Like Tinkerbell? I don't know, but it's a cool little feature. I'm gonna re-up on magic and then we'll go do level 3. Yo, get some of that grandma soup. Thank you. Alright, let's do it. I'm glad I have this now. Fighting enemies has now resorted to just like bouncing on their head like Scrooge McDuck. Hell yeah. Okay, I think one of the NPCs tells you about this, but the way to get to the next palace is It's like 5 paces south of the King's Tomb, which is conveniently located right down here. I like the purple-green color palette of the cemetery areas. Okay. There we go. You can just stomp on enemies now. It's great. Yeah, the fairy spell comes in handy, especially in the palaces themselves. Get pogo sticked. Okay, is there anything over here? I don't think so. No. You remember if it is required to beat the game. The up and down thrust, I think they are. Yeah. I could be wrong about that, but you definitely want them. Even if it's not required per se to beat the game, these techniques make it way easier. Oh, the fairy spell? Yeah, the fairy spell is required to beat the game. That right there, when we just transformed into the fairy to get up over that little cliff, you have to do that. Level 3 reminds me of like a pizzeria. Like a brick oven pizza place. Ooh, those guys give me 100 EXP, but they pack a punch. So we'll do this palace, and then I'll either go offline for the night, or we'll play a little bit of Orcs Must Die. That's a good, just like, turn my brain off game. I cooking the pizza! Yeah, this level is way more linear and straightforward than the second one. I have to wonder if there was some, like, level swapping around the orders. The order of these palaces. It's got tougher enemies, but the layout is way more straightforward. Alright, you want to rumble? He's like, let me at him. Friggin' iron knuckle. Alright, I gotta thread the needle here. Oh, well, I fucked it up. That's fine, I can do that. No, I can't. That doesn't work. That doesn't work either. This is not irrevocable. I can fix this. Oh god. I need that block, though. I can't destroy... Oh! This guy's a supreme dickhead. There we go. Alright, I'm gonna get some momentum. Where did you come from? You know what? Yeah, we'll just do that. That works. That works. How many lives do I have? Just 2? Yeah, okay. I think this is the only time you get to go outside in one of these palaces. It's really cool. I wish there was more of this. This is where the game really starts getting challenging. Oh shit, we went from sine waves to square waves. They've upgraded. Or downgraded. I'm gonna preemptively do this. $200 EXP? Whoa! Ah, you dickhead! Alright. There's no potion? I was really hoping for a potion. These guys are jerks because they back away from you. They know they got your ass in the corner. Got the raft. And now we can make a beeline for the boss. Who knows if I'll survive that long. I got one more life though, so I think we can beat this. Thank God I have enough to cast jump. Come on. Come on. There you go. Get used to that beeping. Heart beeps kind of synced up though. Yeah, for a minute. For like a second they did. It was like on the off beats. Oh, we're close to another level up. That would be nice if I could get my HP up. Give me that. Yep. Oh, how am I still alive? Okay. We gotta make it to the boss now. I got one life. I don't think there's anything else in that room. I think it was just the key. I don't want to fight that guy. I'll fight a red iron knuckle. I'll fight that guy. I'm not gonna fight the blue dude. Oh, I wish it was life. Oh, man. Alright, I'll go for attack power. I wish it was life, though. Yeah, we're gonna die. We're gonna have to come back here. It won't take that long, though, now that we got the hammer. fighting these guys in the cramped area is bullshit. Yeah, a little bit. They definitely have the high ground. So to speak. Alright, can I beat this guy with no health? This is the ball and chain dude, right? No, this is the jousting guy that you gotta jump stab on. That's so cool. Alright. Can we pull this off, Link? I mean, if I die, it won't take that long to get back here. But it would be cool if I could beat him. Right here, right now. You supreme dickhead! Alright. We gotta hoof it all the way back on foot. That's my biggest problem with this game. Every time you game over, you gotta go all the way back. And it wasn't a hardware limitation because at the very end of the game, in the Great Palace, if you get a game over there, then you restart at the beginning of the Great Palace. So it clearly was not hardware limitations, like memory limitations. Return of Ganon. Yeah, Soda Popinski took over. Hyrule will never be the same. I got my level up though, so that's not that big of a deal. What I'm not looking forward to is grinding for extra lives at the very end of the game, because you're gonna need at least 5 or 6 lives before you even attempt the Great Palace. Yeah, this right here, the only way to get up here is with the fairy spell. I think you need just about every spell in the game to beat it, even the useless ones like Fireball. Or the Reflect spell as well. You need it to defeat the sorcerer boss battle that looks like a clansman. Okay. Now we can just book it to the boss. See, that wasn't so bad. Gonna ignore these enemies. There's no reason to fight them right now. I doubt killing these guys will get me enough EXP by the time I make it to the boss. Much like the Zelda 1 dungeon music, I never get tired of this song. Like, I could listen to this on loop for hours and I'm still jamming out to it. Like, this is one of the best songs in the entire series. Full stop. Hey Maple, welcome to the stream. Thank you for letting me on it, and I appreciate the kind words. I'll give it a listen when we are done with this. I'm very excited to listen to the master. Boom, boom, boom. Having level 5 attack power this early, it's pretty nice. One of these days they'll acknowledge Zelda 2 again and give us some damn good remixes from this game. Yeah, I hope so. I would love a full-on remaster of this game. I know it's not gonna happen, but that would be cool. Sorry in advance if the frequencies are fucked up. I got $20 headphones. I'm in the same boat. I used to have a good pair of mixing headphones that lasted me several years. And then they bit the dust, and I'm using these like $10 cost headphones. And you know what? They sound pretty good for $10 headphones, but they're not ideal for audio engineering. Very close to opening Dissidia. I updated PPSSPP, I mean my real PSP. Dissidia is fun. I played a lot of Dissidia Duodecim. I just wish they made like a really good, really fun button mashy Dissidia Arena Fighter for like PS5, Xbox, Switch, PC. Why did Adventure Time get influenced by this game? There was that Adventure Time game on 3DS called like, Hey Ice King, Why'd You Steal Our Garbage? Which was actually pretty good. It was very clearly inspired by Zelda 2. Alright, there we go. I genuinely enjoy your commentary. Well, thank you. I appreciate that as well. I think sometimes I yap too much and I go into excruciating detail about stuff nobody cares about, but I appreciate that you guys tune in. Okay. Alright! Alright. I guess I'll eat a game over real quick again. So that way we can save. Yeah, I think this will be a two-parter, because now we're like a little over a third of the way through the game. You kind of just jump from palace to palace to palace from this point onward. Even though the game gets harder, like the frequency in which you're completing stuff is quicker. There's this crossover anime fighting game that would always crash on the fight's opening cinematic. Very obscure, I never hear about it. Well, what's the game called? Is it like a Shonen Jump anime crossover fighting game? I've played Jump Ultimate Stars on the DS and J-Stars Victory Versus. Okay, is there anything else I want to square away and take care of before we end the stream? No, I think we're done. We've been pretty thorough. We're like over a third of the way through the game now. Yeah, this will be a 2 or 3-parter. I love Zelda 2. And I'm glad that you guys enjoy watching me play this for the umpteenth time. I'm gonna go offline for a little bit. I might come back later tonight. We'll chill with some Orcs Must Die or something in that vein. Maybe the DK Junior Power Hour. But if I don't see you then, have a great rest of your night. And thank you for tuning in.